Hello guys. So I hear you would like to start your own company, right? Well, you are not alone. In Sweden alone, there's 2.3 million people walking around that would like to start their own business. In the United States, it's 62% of the working population. We're talking about 100 million people. 100 million people that would like to start their own company. Wow, that's a lot of people. In the UK, I found out that there is 64% of the working population. That is between 18 to 65. And that is 20 million people in the UK that maybe are going to the pub and they would like to start their own company. But there's only 3 to 5% of every one of these that we've been saying now that actually go ahead and start a company. Only 3 to 5%, depending how you calculate a little bit. But that's a very, very tiny, small little portion of all these people. Why is it that they would like to start their company in the first place? That's number one that we're going to talk about. Number two, what are the blockers? Why is it so few that actually do go ahead and start their company? And thirdly, we are going to give you some tips at the end how you can start your first step towards creating your own business. Remember, if you're going to Rome, you have to take the first step. It's all about the first step. And I show you at the end how you could take the first step. So let's kick off. So let's dig into what are the reasons why so many people would like to start their own business. So these reasons are a compiled 5 list that I have put together. I have put it together with my own experience. I've been asking around in my neighborhood, with my friends, in my networks. I've even been to events having voting about this. I have also looked at many YouTube clips. I've been Googling around. So this is a compiled list of 5 reasons. And they're all sort of interlinked to each other. It's not one reason alone, at least what I figured. They're all sort of interconnected to each other. Reason number 1. I would like to feel that I am my own boss. This is probably one of the biggest reasons why people would like to start their own company. We would like to feel that we have the decision power of our own destiny, our own future in our own hands. We don't want that someone over there is going to tell me what to do. I would like to be my own boss. And that interlinks to number 2, freedom. We would like to feel that we have freedom. An example from myself is I am a consultant and I take assignments in business development and stuff like that. So maybe when I have my assignments, I don't have that great of freedom feeling because my clients sets the level of my freedom. But in between the assignments, I have full freedom. I have the decision power and the feel of freedom to decide which assignments I should take on. So that's a great feeling of freedom that I have, at least. That brings us to third reason, money. We would like to have a little bit more of financial flexibility. We could use a little bit help when we're about to pay off all our expenses. The energy cost, for instance, has been sort of going up and we need more money, basically. We need more money to pay off our mortgage on the house. We would like to support our kids. There are several reasons why people would like to be more financially flexible. you can obtain a little bit of a higher financial flexibility in many different ways. You can play on lottery, you can work your way up to be a CEO. There's a lot of ways you could do this. But as a normal salary working person, it's really, really difficult to just start to become a CEO. And winning a lottery is just sure big chances. Not many people actually do that. I wouldn't recommend it. So one viable way of doing this, and at the same time obtaining what we talked about earlier, like being your boss, feel a little bit more of freedom, that is possible when you're starting your own company, or it could be at least possible when you're starting your own company. Number 4, flexibility. We would like to have a little bit more of flexibility in our working life and our private life. They are becoming more and more together. So before this COVID time, okay, we were sort of commuting to work 1 hour, working there for 8 hours, and then commuting back again 1 hour. So we were sort of losing 2 hours of our lives every day. That is nothing that we would like to continue with. And in the period now when we were in COVID, people realized this, that I can work from home. I don't have to go to that place to be working. So we would like to have a little bit more flexibility, and we would not like to be tied until a place where we should work or at a certain time when we should work. For instance, I, as an own company guy, I could not play golf on Sunday afternoon because it's so crowded. I can do that on Monday morning, and I can work on Sunday afternoon instead. I would like to have that flexibility in my life to sort these things out. We would like to feel a little bit more like we are doing something with a purpose, something that are meaningfulness. We feel that we would like to contribute to the world so the world become a better place. Sustainability is very, very important increasingly. And the younger generations, they feel more about this than old dudes like myself. So this is increasingly important, that we would feel that we were doing something with a purpose, something is meaningful. And that is not always the case when we are working and receiving salary for a big corporation. So these are the main drivers that we would like to start our own company. Please state what you think is the biggest reasons that why people would like to start their own company. Have I forgotten something, or is it something that are more important than the other? Please put a comment below, and we would share it with everyone. Okay, so that's the reason why people would like to start their own company. Let's dig into what are the blockers. Okay, so now we've been talking about the reasons why people would like to start their own company. Let's talk a little bit about the reasons why people don't start their own company. It's only 3 to 5% that actually do go ahead and start their own company. So the blockers must be like mountain-wise. So let's get into that a little bit. So one of the categories of people that I hear a lot, that I've been also interviewing, I've been discussing why it is like this a lot. And that is, I have a great idea of doing something, but I don't know how to make business out of this idea. And this is very, very common. This is sort of innovators that have great idea about something, a new product, a new service, a new thing, and they are SMEs. They are subject matter expert in the area where they have their idea. But that doesn't automatically mean that they are a SME in starting up a company. So this is very, very, very common, this situation. And that brings us to another category that I belong to. I'm an entrepreneur. I know how to start a business. I know business models. I know the importance of value proposition, customer mappings, etc. But I don't have any idea. I don't have any idea to start business around. So these two categories are a big portion of all the people that sort of blocks them into starting their own company. And sort of beneath those two is the reasons like, I don't know. Since you're a SME in this area and you don't know how to start a business, I often get the results when I'm in voting, etc. I don't know how to do accounting. I don't know the legal stuff. I don't know how to register a company. I don't know what the value proposition is. There's a lot of I don't know into it. So this is very, very common reasons why people do not start their own company. Another reason is fear. I probably fail. So it's like fear and self-confidence. Since you don't know, you have low self-confidence that you would actually be able to do business out of this idea. So this is very, very common that you feel low self-esteem, confidence that this would actually be something, a company that you could start around this, and also the fear of failing. And to be honest with you, yes, there is a lot of companies that doesn't exist after 3 years. And we are later on in this video going to tell you how to avoid that. But this is very, very common. And people see this, of course. So those reasons are major blockers for people to start their own company. Another thing that I also hear a lot is that when you're about to start your own company, there's this misconceptions that you can have the same living standard, if I put it that way. When you're starting a company, you have to lower your living costs and you have to start low. It's like bootstrapping. So that's what you have to do when you're starting a company, or most of us at least. Of course, there are business models where you need a lot of funding before you can sell even one product. For instance, if you're about to start up a factory to sell batteries, car batteries, all kinds of batteries, you need to have a factory, you need to have people working there, you need to buy in components, you need to buy in a lot of things. You need a lot of money to invest in order to get to the point where you can actually sell a battery. So it all depends on the business model, of course. So they are sort of interlinked to each other. Another reason is where you are in life cycle. Now, if you are 18 to, let's say, 28, you are just coming out from school, you are a little bit more flexible. You don't have too many responsibilities, you maybe live at home, maybe your parents pay a lot of things for you. So you are a lot more flexible of taking risks at this age. And that is not the case when you are a family father or a family mother. You have a family, you have kids, you have to pay the rent, you have to pay for the loan for the car, you have to pay a lot of things, and you're in the family mood. When you're in the family mood, you are unlikely to take a lot of risks. That's the nature, how it is like. But when the family period is sort of over a little bit, when your kids are able to have their own lives, sort of, then your risk taking is sort of increasing again. So it's these three major phases in life where you're able to take risks in the beginning, but not in the middle when you're in a family mode, and you're starting to take risks again when you're out of the small kid family mode, sort of. And the last thing is energy. Energy and grit. You have to have a lot of energy and consistently grit when you're about to start your company. That's the way it works. You will hit a wall and you have to find ways of either getting through the wall, on besides the wall, over the wall, or crawl under a wall. And you will run into the wall and you will fall down. And you have to put yourself up again and run into the wall again with another angle, maybe, with new things. So this is very, very energy consuming to fail and then rise up again and then run in and fail again. But that's the learning curve when you're starting a company. But a lot of people understand this, so they sort of are reluctant to start the process because they know that they would run into the wall. Another reason that I hear a lot is that people that would like to start their own company are a little bit alone. It's not a group of people that would like to start their own company. It's an individual. And as an individual, you are sort of fragile. You're fragile for all these reasons that I've been talking about. So that's the reasons why, at least what I think, is the reasons why people do not start their own company. If you have another reasons that you think should be on this list, please put a comment below. And we are getting into the next section, what you could do to start your journey. So, we've been talking about what is the reasons why so many people would like to start their own company. We have also been talking about what's the blockers why they don't. Why is it only 3 to 5% that actually do? So let's get into what you can do today to start your journey towards starting your own company. You can actually take 2 steps. Remember, if you're going to Rome, you have to take the first step. You can take 2 of those today. The first step that I will encourage you to do is to go to avastart.com and register in that site. This is a platform to connect people with great ideas with people who knows how to build business out of ideas. And you can create a team. Remember when we were talking about running into the wall? It's much easier, it's much more fun actually to run into the wall together. It is. And you can help each other up when you're falling down. So to be a team rather than being alone is a big difference, and that's what Avastart is all about. The second step that you could take is you can sign up on this channel, because the next video I'm going to support you with the checklist. It's a great checklist of things that you have to do in order to start your own company. And remember, in YouTube and elsewhere, there's a lot of advices when you're searching on starting your own company. You will come up with how to register a company. But that's so far away from what you need to do at the first place. There's like 10 points before you can register your company that you have to consider and do before you can register. So sign up on this channel and we will discuss this checklist the next time. And yeah, until then, stay cool. Wa, ki, cho.